This week on the Fabulous Variety Show podcast, Gemma and K think they heard a swear word on Heart Radio.
Yeah, funny that. Neither had I. It's popular music. It's not something I'm ever going to be
so
any
it's a
good
new
at.
song.
It's a new song.
Tom makes Rob suck his blue balls.
Oh dear. Dear.
I was so close to being sick, TJ.
South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut, hits 25 years old.
We would always do the dying giraffe noise to each other. Or we'd always go, ah, shit, got dogs.
Can Rob guess the sound effect in this short quiz?
Can you imagine being at border control and your bag suddenly starts doing this?
Do the boys believe in aliens or ghosts?
Where do I stand on UFOs and ghosts?
Their head, bollocks,
The
arms.
UFOs, I stand on their bridge.
Nice.
And ghosts, I just try to stand next to them. I don't want to invade their ethereal bodies.
Let's get this show started, shall we?
Welcome back to the Variety Show podcast with me, Tom, and my co-host, Rob. Rob, say hello.
Hello.
And how on earth are you, my friend? How are you doing?
Pretty good, actually. Thanks. Yeah. All right.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear it.
Got visited by, I think, 11 or 12 starlings this morning.
11 or 12 starlings?
I've got a picture. I'll show you the picture later.
Oh, okay. It's interesting. We haven't had any starlings at all in our garden for 2 or 3 years now. We had this whole period that the bastards would just swarm down into the garden, destroy the bird feeder, and then leave.
Yeah.
And that went on for like almost a year. None of the other birds got a look in, so we just lost all the birds. It was
They
just the starlings.
Took everything.
Yeah.
I only just filled up the small seeds. I put loads of mealworms out and all that. And then literally the next morning I was there and T and I were looking out the window, a whole boom, and then there's just like
Exactly.
and
They're like a plague. They just come in and they just go, a plague of locusts just go through it and then they're off again. But no, then they disappeared and we've not had one starling back since. They're just completely fucked off.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain. Saves a huge amount of money on the seeds until the pigeons come along.
Yeah.
And those messy fuckers, they just...
The pigeons, they make a mess when they get and they shit everywhere. And then the magpies are really clever, so they'll take, like I think I said in our group chat, they take the coconut shells off the hook and put them on the floor.
Yeah.
And eat them on the floor.
Oh, you see, we don't have anything like that. So our magpies land and they kind of beat their wings while stood on this tiny, tiny edge, pecking at the seed for their dear life before they lose their footing and then go and land.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a sad magpie, though. He's got no tail.
Oh, that must make his flying difficult.
No, he flies really well, actually. We were surprised. We thought, oh, poor little thing. He can't do very well. He hops along and he flies away and he's absolutely fine. But it's just really weird seeing it. It's just like he's got a bum. He's got no tail, just
No, I saw him. I saw him when I was here.
Yes, you did.
Because I called him Nemo.
Oh, yes, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Other than bird chat, anything else? Anything good happened this week?
I don't know. You've caught me off guard. Every day's wonderful.
You know what? I'm so glad I got you off guard because you get me off guard on Untitled Trek every time. What sci-fi have you watched? Shit, why have I not written this down?
Yes,
So, no, I've got my own back. Well, you know what? My evening's been very interesting. I finished work, I cooked dinner, and then I took Kay to Laser Quest, as they've just opened a laser... Well, I say just... Maybe half a year now, I've opened up Laser Quest in Hemel Hempstead. And we had a great time. Really good fun. We played 3 games. Very disappointing, though. It's a Wednesday night, and it was just me versus her. There were no other people in the building. Bless her, Lila, the girl behind the counter, did really well. She's really nice, really kind of cheered us up and got us into the game. It was good fun, and Kay absolutely adored it. We're going back with her friends. She wants to beat you as well, apparently.
Yeah.
She reckons it'll be quite easy to just take you out. So I don't know what I've kind of inbred into her there, but I think she's going to be an assassin when she's older.
How hard did you go?
I won 2 games and then I let her win the third.
Okay. Okay, all right, good.
No, but you know what? By the third game, she was good.
Yeah.
She actually if I'd put a bit of effort in, it would have still been a challenge to have beaten her at that point.
Is it zones like the old one, like the Western Zone, the Futuristic Zone?
Nothing is ever going to be as good as Hemel Hempstead's Quasar. Okay, so any of you that don't obviously live in Hemel Hempstead won't know this, but Quasar in Hemel was huge. You had a Wild West zone, you had a Neon Space zone, you had a World War II zone, you had a Woods and Castle zone. It was huge, and then in the centre was the Energizer. Where
Energizer.
You had to go, return to Energizer, where you had to go and get your lives refilled once you'd lost all 25 lives. And it had added things as well, like if you got something like 3 kills in a row without being hit, you got machine gun. And then they also had, each zone had 2 bases, so you could go and get extra bonus points. Whereas this laser quest, it's maybe the size of 2 of the zones from Quasar, but it is just one big kind of maze labyrinth sort of thing, and the guns, they just have one mode: shoot each other. 4 shots a second is what you can kind of pump out of it if you've got a quick finger, and you can be shot in quite a few places. So unlike on Quasar where you could get shot on the sides of the gun, the barrel of the gun, or the front and back, now you can get shot on the gun, front of the gun, front, back, or your 2 shoulder pads as well.
Because I remember you'd shoot the base, it would move. The base, I'm sure at one point had moving mechanics and stuff. Once you shot the base, it would make loads of lights and a siren go off. And I can't remember, but I think it would then shoot back a couple of seconds after it activated to stop you standing in front of it all the time. Yeah.
But anyway, no, it was really good fun. Really recommend going. It's a good price. Go onto Google, Hemel Hempstead Laser Quest. Go and visit them. Well worth it. Anyway, let's get on with the show.
Shit bollocks, fuck and wanker, these are all things you won't hear on UK radio, but what did Gemma and K actually hear? Let's find out.
Gem came home from work the other day with Kay in the car, and they listened to Heart Radio in the morning and on the way home. Now, I don't hold that against them.
Yeah,
they like Heart Radio, it's
poor
fair
buggers.
Enough. And they came home and said, I can't believe this. They played a song with the word shit in it.
Okay.
I thought, I know mistakes happen, but bloody hell, you don't hear about that too often anymore. I know on the talk shows you hear about guests phone in, don't they? And they can't control their language. And quite often swear words get through that. But for a music radio station to let a unfiltered explicit song through, that was quite surprising to me. So Jem told me what it was called. It's called a bar song, or a bar song Tipsy, I think it is, by an artist called Shabuzi. Ever heard of it?
Don't think so.
Yeah, funny that. Neither had I. It's popular music. It's not something I'm ever going to be
so
any
it's a
good
new
at.
song.
It's a new song. And I said, I'm very shocked by that. And then Jem said, well, yeah, because look, if you look on Apple Music, there's 2 versions, the radio edit and the explicit edit. And right when Jem thought she'd heard the word, and Kay also said, yeah, no, I heard it. You look at the lyrics, and yes, it says shit. It's like, fair enough. That must be what it is. They've accidentally played the explicit version.
Okay.
Next day, you won't believe this. They played it again. And I said, well, I genuinely can't believe it at that point, because there would have been at least a dozen phone calls of people going, it's so immoral, you're destroying our childhood.
The watershed, the watershed.
Well, it's not even the watershed for the radio. I don't think you can play shit at any point on a radio. I don't think the watershed applies to radio, weirdly. I've never understood that, because I love, when I go out to the Netherlands and listen to the radio they have on in the office, it's like a normal kind of drive time radio, and songs come on and there's fuck, there's shit.
Australian radio's like that.
Oh, Australian radio is legendary.
I haven't been to Australia, but I just... Yeah.
Kids TV as well swears. But then again, we grew up with not Biker Grove, Grange Hill, and that's full of bloody swearing. But anyway, they played it again. So I said, right, play me this song. And I heard it too. But then I realised, then I went back and read the lyrics, played it again. Now I want you to tell me what the lyrics are to this, okay? Hang on a moment, let me play it. Hopefully it's not going to deafen us. Maybe I'll turn it down to start with. Here we go. I've been boozy since I lived. I ain't changing for a chick. Tell my mind I ain't forget. Okay, let me play that once more, because I know that piqued your interest straight away.
Yeah.
I've been boozy since I lived. I ain't changing for a chick. Tell my mind I ain't forget.
I ain't changing for shit is what it kind of sounds like he says. But I don't
Yeah,
I think
there we
he's
go.
got a strong accent, or he's putting one on. I ain't changing for a check, he might be saying. As in for money.
Look at you.
Is that right?
It is. I've been boozy since I've left. I ain't changing for a check.
Yeah, okay.
Look at you,
So
skilled ears, Rob.
Does he mean like for money? I'm not changing. If you pay me, I won't change.
I presume so. I mean, I'm not going to go into the depths of the song because I've not listened to the whole thing. It's not my cup of tea at all. But I'm glad that actually you picked up the rude word and then the actual word. And I think you only picked up the actual word because we've got headphones on.
Yeah.
And we've got a nice clear recording of it. Now imagine you're driving along, you're listening to that. You've got the sound of the motorway. You've got non-Goodyear or Pirelli tyres. So you're getting that kind of C or D category of noise level
My
of the
van,
tyres.
basically. Yeah, I'm in my van.
Gem or my car. I mean, we don't put expensive tyres on. We can't bloody afford them. But yeah, hearing this...
I've been boozy since I left. I ain't changing for a check. Tell my mind,
it sounds more like shit than check.
It sounds way more like shit when you're driving.
Yeah.
Granted, I know what you're saying. With the headphones, it's definitely, you can tell, it's not shit. But you're driving in a car without an expensive hi-fi system. I'm genuinely surprised they've not had more people complaining, going, oh my God, you're swearing in there. But no, that's all this section was. I was to play that, and I wanted to see what your reaction was to it. And that was perfect. I can go back and report back to Gemma and K that you may have got it wrong, but at least you heard what they heard.
Yeah.
Good.
What other show can give you two men sucking each other's blue balls? Will Rob swallow? Does Tom spit? Let's join them back in the studio.
Okay, so a few months ago, I made you put my black balls in your mouth, and it was... You suffered for it. You didn't enjoy it. And I made you answer terrible film questions that I'd come up with.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that to you today. Instead, you're going to be putting my blue balls in your mouth instead.
Yeah.
They're so blue.
It's dangerous. I wanted to say, like, what's worse? Your black balls or your blue balls? Like, you've got an issue with your balls because they're black.
One of them's necrosis, and one of them's because I've not had sex for so long. Which would you prefer? My dead balls or my blue balls?
I
Come on.
don't actually know at that point.
Oh, dear.
That's like that question you guys asked me ages ago.
Oh, yes, that question.
Yeah.
That question. Right, anyway, I've been back to Mr.Simms, the sweet shop in Milton Keynes, because they reminded me when we went and bought the Black Death, they said, oh, would you like to try our Blue Death as well? Which is apparently the Blue Raz version. And I said no at that time, knowing that we were going to come back to this. So first of all, shout out to the Milton Keynes Mr.Simms. It feels like it's a shout out episode, actually. Laser Quest, now Mr.Simms. But yeah, thank you very much for serving me. We did buy these. We haven't had a discount on them. Hint, hint. Next time. So I'm going to suffer through this with you.
Are they listening to the podcast in the store?
Oh, I wouldn't have thought so, because then they're probably going to get told
No chewing
off.
it this time, because you were called out by a few people for chewing it.
Was I now?
Yep.
Was I? Well, if I was, I deleted those posts so no one else ever saw them. Don't sniff my blue balls. Oh, he's licked it as well.
I wish I hadn't done that.
Oh, I wish I'd got that on camera. That was absolutely... Oh, your face.
What am I going to do? Am I supposed to... I think I spat the last one out.
Did you?
Mm.
No, you got through it.
I don't know.
You noshed that ball off perfectly.
Now,
right, so
are we going to do it at the same time? Because that's obviously not great.
Yeah, no, we'll do it at the same time.
Podcast.
No, we'll do it at the
Hearing
same
us
time.
going...
No, we'll talk through it. Don't worry. We've got
I
5
won't be
minutes on this
talking through
section. I'm not wasting any more time behind this. We have a blue ball to put in our mouth. They're about the size. They're the diameter, no, circumference, sorry, of a 1p. They're not that big.
A grape.
Yeah, okay.
Decent sized grape.
A decent sized grape. A nice colour blue. And they're covered in what looks like granulated
That's
sugar.
the spicy bit.
They're spicy. It's
Spicy,
the spicy
bit,
sweet.
the sour bit, sorry.
Yeah, so that's the sour sweet. So we'll do it on 3. 3, 2, 1. Oh, oh wow. Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh wow, that hits hard. Oh, I tell you what, that's
It's revolting.
Oh, I'm not gonna. It's not me gagging. It's me trying not to. My mouth is shrinking. It looks like a puckered arsehole at the moment. Rob is actually dying, If you need to spit it out, please spit it out. I do not want you vomiting in my office. Oh, wow. This is...
Oh, spread it out.
That is a million times worse than the black ones.
I need my tea, hang on.
Oh, dear. Oh, no, as you can hear, I've just crunched it. Oh dear. Dear.
I was so close to being sick, TJ.
Right, okay, well, while Rob moves the microphone back in front of his mouth in front of the right notch shape so we can hear him. Jeez.
Sorry, that was so disgusting. I was nearly sick.
No, that's fine. That really was. That was worse than the black one for me as well. That was a lot worse.
It either tastes like puke or I puked in my mouth.
I wouldn't say it tastes like puke. I would say it tastes like pain, and it was just sour. There was no flavour behind it. It genuinely was sour.
That is such a level above the black one.
100% that is. That's
My
I've
eyes
chewed
are
it, by the
watering.
way. Fuck you all. I've chewed it.
No, but the last one you chewed instantly. This one you did suck on your own ball for a little while.
Prince could suck his own cock, apparently.
What do you remove a rib?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Sorry, random fact there. Okay, yeah, no, that's
Right,
not...
so I pussied out twice. I'm pretty sure I spat the last one out too. So I spit and you swallow.
Hey!
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. There, did I do that right? Let's dive in to the South Park movie.
Let me take you back to July 1999. What do you think you were doing back then?
1999. I would have been 14 years old. Oh, fucking, I don't know what I was doing when I was 14.
Fair enough. Well, I would have been in... I nearly said year 5. That would have been very wrong. No, I would have said...
Held back, were you?
I would have been year 10 heading into year 11, and it would have been summer, so probably not much going on, but I know I would have been desperate to have seen South Park bigger, longer and uncut at the cinema.
Yep.
And I didn't.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed I missed it. I just didn't do the cinema much then. I didn't have the money to, and... yeah, I was just spending it on different things, I think, at that point. So I missed it at the cinema. Did you get to see it at the cinema? I know you were
I
1
didn't.
year under the 15 age limit, but who cares?
I didn't get to see it at the cinema, no. I had to wait.
So when was the first time you saw it? Was it a blockbuster rental, or seeing it was still the 90s? Did you have to wait that whole year for it to be released on public release on video and, well, DVD actually at that point?
I think I had to wait till I got it on DVD.
Blimey.
But yeah, I don't remember. Because normally I would... I didn't really get into the blockbuster rentals until I was probably like 17, 18. I'd only go down to Raj.
Yeah.
And rarely get something then. But then it wasn't until I was like 17 or, 18 when I had my car that I would go.
Interesting. I got 1 or 2 films from Raj. So Raj is the post office that used to be near where me and Rob lived. I used to get the video rentals from Ramesh when he used to do video rentals.
See, I never knew he did them.
But anyway, we are talking about South Park Bigger, Longer and Uncut. It is 25 years since its UK release.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I bring it up is because on the 22nd of July, I think, I'm going to Cineworld to watch it on the big screen.
Oh, brilliant.
As I missed it the first time round.
Wicked.
It's just such a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
South Park as a whole is good, and we'll talk about South Park on the whole in a little bit, but I really want to focus on Bigger, Longer and Uncut. Weirdly, I remembered the DVD, and it was one of those let me think. My collection only had 2 of these, and they were those DVDs that came in that weird cardboard version and not the plastic case. And yeah, we've spoken about it. The Matrix was the first one I had, and then I also had South Park Bigger, Longer and Uncut, and that was one of those cardboard sleeves as well. Otherwise, all the others were in a plastic case, and I never understood why they did that, because it was the wrong size. It was everything about it was wrong.
It's just totally different. I don't know if it was kind of a renewables thing.
Oh, possibly. But I just vaguely remember seeing them all on the shelf and taking them out. And as it was cardboard front, people had like put things down on them, and they all had kind of indents across the cardboard, which you wouldn't have got with a normal DVD
Yeah, and
case.
after a while they would fray as well, and you had that little plastic bit you'd have to kind of pull round. Because remember, you close the front and the bit
The plastic bit would clip over it to keep it closed, and that would
just
eventually
all just
break.
fray away, and just it wasn't good.
No, it was not a good design. But that was my first experience of it as well. Was DVD. We went round to my mate Luke's house, and we put it on there. I think it was VHS actually. He had it on. We put it on the video player, and we just watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I still remember watching it the first time through and thinking, I don't know if you could make a better film than this. 15-year-old me was like, this is just amazing.
Yeah.
In fact, did I have it on VHS first? I might have had it on VHS first, actually, then got it on DVD, because that was the time HMV was like doing new releases on VHS with like $4.99 or 3 for £10, if you remember when they used to do that. So I used to come away with piles of videos all the time.
Yeah, I watched it a lot. When I got on DVD, I watched it a lot because my friend Lloyd and I would, it depends whose house, because he would have it as well.
Yeah.
And it wasn't till I rewatched it today that I started remembering all the little bits, because we'd say things to each other about it. And normally it was, maybe I'm getting ahead of how you want to speak to it, but we would always do the dying giraffe noise to each other. Or we'd always go, shit, god dogs, because that was our favourite character. And that was just like continue for absolutely years. When we played a game or did anything, if there was a baddie, the line would be, shit, god dogs. Or if we were out, if we're just out, you just hear him just make the dying giraffe noise. yeah.
I can't even remember how it goes, but it's there are so many parts of it that you could just take away that were all wonderful. There's not one bit in that film that is better than the rest of it. Every bit of it is as good as the rest of it. And it's just really fucking good. It's not just a movie, it's a musical. Yeah. And it's done, every song in it, ranging from Uncle Fucker at the very beginning, all the way to like Blame Canada, or what would...
Satan's Song's up there. I love that one.
Satan's Song up there is brilliant. Little Boy, You're Going to Hell, featuring James Hetfield of Metallica, although he was uncredited, so there was always the rumour going, it wasn't James Hetfield, it was a sound like, it was James Hetfield, it was.
I reckon it would have been.
It was all confirmed, apparently. La Résistance.
Yeah. Vive la Résistance lives on. I like, the thing about the film as well, when I was watching it today, I feel like the whole film is really good. Because it's been years since I watched it. But actually, it gets funnier as the film goes on. I was sat there on the sofa, the missus was out, and the food was cooking, and I'm just laughing my tits off at this film this cartoon from years ago. Yeah,
but it just had that power, didn't it? It was whether you were a South Park fan or not. I mean, one thing that I would say South Park has always been good at is they are always on the ball straight away for anything political, anything news. They are on it, and they've got the satirical view of it almost perfect every time.
Oh, and they can get away with it too. No one can come along and try and cancel South Park. It's just not possible. There's too much history. It's too ingrained in our generation's psyche that this is South Park. Like, I'm not going to get too involved, like Eminem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
His new song, he's like, he can't get cancelled either. He's in the same kind of zone, Slim Shady. It just can't happen.
100%. 100%. I mean, I'm just looking at the songs now. So, I mean, what we should have done is printed these out and put them in order of how good they are. But I just realised I don't think that's really possible.
I don't think there's any song much better than any other one.
The very first song, the song that you hear in the opening few seconds, Mountain Town, it's such a good introduction to South Park because it's everything you already know about South Park packaged into this lovely little tight, bright, happy song.
Yeah.
And then promptly drops into Uncle Fucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole sneaking into the cinema with the tram.
The tram, yeah. And I love it because they do a little callback to it later when all of the kids are coming out of the cinema. There's only children in there. And those four walk past that guy again and he's like, hey! And like, how did all of these kids get in past you?
Yeah.
All of them were tramps?
But I'd say, funny enough, the cinema gets revisited in so many episodes, and there's the bit they go and see Passion of the Christ, and I'm pretty sure it's when they go and see the Passion of the Christ, and Kenny and Stan come out of it, and they say, "Oh, well, that was a waste of money. We're not going to get that money back, just like we didn't for when we went and saw a film called Basketball." And that was a film that Trey and Matt Stone had done, Parker and Matt Stone had done, that they really regret, but it's one of my favourite films.
Did they ever get Cannibal?
No, they didn't really. I think that was their first film they did.
I quite liked Cannibal.
Cannibal's good. Basketball, they regretted. They, from what I understand, I could be completely wrong. Often I am, so please correct me if I am. But I'm pretty sure the studio pressured them into making a film, and that's what they kind of ended with, and that's why they weren't that much of a fan of it. Whereas then you've got Orgasmo, which is just bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Book of Mormon yet. Really need to see that.
No, I'd love to see that, yeah.
Maybe we should have a podcast day trip and go and see the Book of Mormon.
Love to see, because the missus will never go and watch that one.
Oh, I don't know if mine would. Well, she's listening, so you can come and tell me in a minute, Gem, if you do want to go and see the Book of Mormon. Then you've got It's Easy MK,
It's easy, okay.
which just shouldn't have had any reason to be a good song, but it embeds itself straight away. Then you've got Good Old Blame Canada, which we sang it at each other when we were over there. Blame Canada!
We played it on the show.
Yes, we did. Then there's the classic Carl's Mum's a Big Fat Bitch.
That one got big, didn't it?
Carl's Mum.
Yeah, that one was a big hit. Everyone seemed to sing that one.
Yeah, everyone had to learn it, and there was always that one kid that would learn it in all the languages.
I was watching that today. I thought the only one that they potentially made up was the last one.
Right.
When he's like, I don't know what he's meant to be, like Zulu or something. That one, I think they're making up.
Well,
the other ones I could believe.
That's up there with Starvin' Marvin.
Yeah.
And it's the whole clicking.
Yeah. So I think that one they made up.
Then what else have you got there? You've got What Would Brian Boy Tunnel Do? Or Connell
so that
do?
one.
Never understood until...
I still like it, but I don't know who that guy is.
No, I don't. American figure skater, is it?
Yeah.
Olympic athlete, something like that. Then we've got Up There.
Yeah.
Which is
I really enjoy that one.
It's such a good song. La Resistance.
Yeah, that's another. And I never, until I watched it today, literally, I hadn't seen Les Mis before this, so I didn't realise that's literally a rip-off of a Les Mis song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get the joke originally. So I had a really good chuckle, because that's now one of my favourite things to watch.
Fair enough. And then I'm just looking at all the other. Then you got Eyes of a Child, I Can Change, the Saddam Hussein song.
Yeah, that's another one. That's so good.
And then good old I'm Super. Thanks for asking. Just all of these songs are ingrained in me.
They do like a Requiem at the end, don't they? Where they've all of the songs together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm pretty sure I owned the album at some point, or I at least downloaded the album off Napster at the time.
Oh yeah, I would have soul seeked the hell out of that.
Oh, soul seek! Wow, deep dive on the nostalgia there. But other than the songs, what are your favourite parts of the film?
I really enjoy the bits in hell, and when Saddam is in bed with Satan and he pulls those two dildos out. And he's like, stop it. And Satan's reading this book, and it's Saddam's from Mars and Satan's from Venus. It's the book he's reading. And Saddam just pulls out this massive dildo. So yeah,
it's just that constant Satan's trying to be serious.
Yeah,
and you go, I'm just fucking with you, Satan.
Yeah, and then he pulls another one out. Yeah. And then the other one, I texted you earlier, or I did a voice note to you tonight, and it's when he's on the Terrence and Flipper on the Conan O'Brien show.
Yes.
And now I can't remember the actress's name now, but they're talking about farting, and she goes, I once farted on the set of Blue Lagoon, and the whole place goes silent, and Terrence or Philip, whichever one's the red one, just after about 3 or 4 seconds of silence, just turns to her and slaps her around the face.
Yeah, exactly.
That really tickled me.
And
Oh, and again, Winona Ryder doing the ping pong ball trick, and the whole time you think she's obviously doing the rude one, but actually she's just hitting her ping pongs with the bat. There's so many good bits.
I mean, I'd completely forgotten about the whole V-chip part of the story, which obviously is a huge important part because that's what happened. Yeah. I'd completely forgotten about that one. Yeah, Uncle Fucker obviously was just that wonderful bit because you're watching it, and I think that was the first time South Park hadn't bleeped, or at least in the UK, we hadn't had it filtered. Because up to that point, we'd had South Park, and we'd heard them go for it, but it would always be bleeped or cut, and I presumed that was kind of a worldwide thing. I don't think the show had ever done that until they did the remasters over the past few years. The film for me was the first time I'd heard the boys actually swear big time.
Maybe that's part of the point of the whole movie, is that they're making a movie because now they're allowed to swear, and they're almost satirizing. Whatever the word is.
Satirize. No. Oh, fuck's sake.
Fucking hell.
Satirize.
Karen would know the answer. Karen, insert your voice here.
Satirize. That'll do.
Satirize. Well, fucking hell, we're useless. Karen! So call Karen up now and ask her. So their own show. So, like with the Terrence and Phillip, they start swearing, and that's when all the grown-ups leave. Is they start swearing and start farting, and that's when the grown-ups leave the cinema.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they're doing a joke on themselves, but like, we're allowed to swear now. All the parents are going to leave.
Oh my God. And okay, look, I know... God, I'm surprised they're actually going to show it in the cinema, and I will be really interested to see if any of the film gets cut for the cinema release. Because I think if it does, there will be an uproar in the scene. But we cannot forget Operation Get Behind the Darkies.
Yeah, that's...
But it was at that point in the world, it was highlighting something that was absolutely true.
Yeah.
And I think the final thing, kind of quickly moving on, the Windows 98 incident.
Yeah.
It's just... You got the general trying to get the projector working. You've got Saddam Hussein laughing in the background because he's like fucked with it.
Yeah.
And he's like, get Bill Gates out here. You said the internet would be quick on Windows 98. Well, yes, bang.
Yeah. It's one of those little jokes that the punchline happens so quickly and it's done. That one of those kind of jokes that really are quite funny.
Yeah, it's just utterly stupid, but perfect.
I think the word is satirize.
Satirize. Well, that would make sense.
Should we get Google to say it? I can get Google to say it if you like.
Ooh, go on then. Get Google to say it.
Satirize.
Satirize. Thanks.
Yeah, there you are.
Right, there we go. We have an answer. You said you'd got a quiz for me.
Oh gosh, yeah. So when was the last? Where did you actually watch it today or yesterday?
No, I've not watched it for a while.
Oh, you're not going to get it then.
Oh, I might do.
So you had to have been watching the film carefully,
okay.
And it's in the UN. So it's in the section where in the UN.
Yes.
And they start taking the piss out of the Canadians how they speak. Well, for a very brief moment, the UN guy for Canada is talking about why they need Terrence and Phoenix for the Canadian economy. And he brings up a pie chart.
Right, okay.
And the pie chart, as we know, I like pie charts, has all the different aspects of the Canadian economy that are important to the Canadians based on how important they are. So from a distance, you can see, because you won't be able to read it, you can see Terrence and Phillip are in red.
Yes.
I want you to guess what the other ones are. According to South Park, what do they think the other important things are in the Canadian economy?
Poutine.
Let's have a quick look. Oh no, I couldn't screenshot it, so I had to take a photo with a second phone and then send it to myself. Nope. Poutine, which is saying that's not on there.
Celine Dion.
Well, there's one they've put on here called the Dion fish industry.
Right, there you go. Right, Celine Dion. I would have said Bryan Adams, but no, that's not going to be on there. Hockey? Or
no.
Ice hockey?
No. I think you need to think a bit more South Park.
Oh, God.
So there's got a real one, the tourist industry. It's
Yeah.
a real one. Would you like to know?
Yeah, go on, tell me.
Logs. Snowball machines.
Nice.
The porn industry.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And X-Files filming. And X-Files filming is pretty high on their pie chart.
Well, that was perfect era for it. The X-Files was the biggest at that point, wasn't it? So,
So that's a South Park pie chart. Yeah.
I love it. Moving away from the film then, 25 years, can't believe it has been that long. Cannot wait to see it at the cinema. And it is one of my all-time favourite films. Other South Park memories, very quickly. What have you got? What is your favourite memories of South Park?
I've got my two favourite ones, really. The first, well, I've got three favourite things. Two favourite episodes. Read the very first episode. The Alien Probe episode.
Oh, Cartman gets an anal probe.
There was nothing like South Park.
No.
People have got to understand, like, who... I think everyone listens to this at our age, so they'll know. But there was nothing like it.
No.
There was absolutely nothing like it.
Quick question, and we'll go back to that. Which Cartman voice did you prefer? Early Cartman or current Cartman? And they are very different. But weirdly, I can't see you when it transitioned. I don't know when it transitioned.
That's what I mean. I'm trying to think if it was just a slow thing. It's less aggressive now.
It's less jarring and, painful on the ears, I guess. But I kind of prefer the early voice for Cartman.
Yeah, that's kind of the one I think when I think of his voice in my head, that's the one I'll be...
It's the one you think of when you hear respect my authority. Sorry, respect my authority. That you hear the early voice, not the new voice.
Yeah, that's certainly the voices in my head.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, sorry, back to yours. Right, Cartman gets an anal probe.
Yeah, so I love that episode. And Make Love Not Warcraft.
Oh, fuck me. What an episode.
Yeah, that's a great... And so, a little fun fact. We've spoke about Pirate Software before.
Yes.
The guy. His dad worked at Blizzard when this came out. And that guy is based on his dad.
Oh, that's very
According
cool.
to Pirate Software, the rumours were they based that guy on his dad.
What a lovely little... Oh, that's really cool.
He didn't look like that or anything, but they just kind of took that... Yeah.
So that entire episode, who's this dude? Oh, not this guy again.
Yeah.
Everything about that episode.
The shitting in a bucket.
Oh. Mom!
Yes, sweetie.
Oh, that's a big one, isn't it?
I love that she's just like this horrific porn star.
I do like that they've actually given her a bit more. If you've haven't watched any of the
I've not seen any of the new stuff.
Really good. Got to say, watch the COVID specials because they are amazing.
Yeah.
But all the new stuff, actually, it's weird. I went through this period where I loved a bit like, I could go tail it back to Star Trek to a bit, how every episode was different.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did the whole series that went down the route of PC Principal and Garrison basically being Donald Trump. And it wasn't just a single special episode. It was an ongoing series at that point. They serialized the story. And the first time I watched it, I hated it and actually stopped watching. I thought, I don't like this at all. It's only maybe 5 or 6 years afterwards, I went back and actually went and watched from episode 1 all the way through to the last seasons, realised how clever those seasons. They still aren't my favourite, but they are a bloody well-written storyline.
Yeah.
And just really, really good with the whole member berry stuff. I'd say the lowest point for it is the whole Tegrity Farms bit where Stan's dad buys a weed farm.
Yeah, I've seen
it's
some
okay, but it's... They focused way too much on it and lost some of the charm and the magic that we'd got from the earlier seasons.
It's coming right for us, is it?
Exactly. It is not... Yeah, Jimbo, it's coming right for us.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Ned.
Or Mr. Mackey.
Oh, Mr. Even Mr. Garrison's fancy new penis as an episode where he basically doesn't want to be a woman anymore, so they make him a new penis and they graft it onto the back of the mouse, and a mouse escapes running around the screen with his penis on its back. Or the gluten episode. Have you seen that?
I don't think I've seen that. There's a lot of stuff.
There's a gluten episode where basically they show that gluten's really bad, and the scientists look, if I eat gluten, nothing bad will happen, and then his cock explodes and fires off like a rocket. And that turns out that's what gluten does. So that all turns up in it.
So I meant to say Mr. Hanky.
Oh,
not Mr. Mackey.
Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. He loves me and he loves you.
Other than that, I used to have it. I'm still looking for it now, so I haven't got it. But South Park on the N64. The N64 game.
See, that gets slated.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I loved it. It does not work well on the Retroid.
No, it doesn't.
No.
And if you got it on the N64, you really had... I know it said you didn't need the expansion pack, but you needed the expansion pack.
No, I had it. I don't have it now. I want to have it now. It's one of the ones that's on my list of, like, top of my list to get.
See, I'd only ever played the N64 version. I never played the PlayStation version or the PC version.
I only played the N64 one.
Interesting. But for me, the early seasons of South Park just full stop win. I love, let me think, what would I say? The Woodland Critters episode where Stan goes into the woods and it's a whole Christmas episode and the woodland Christmas critters are all
I
Satanists.
think I've seen that one, yeah.
That one's one. All the Christmas ones. Red Sleigh Down is a brilliant episode as well.
It sounds like Black Hawk Down, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Then there's Starving Marvin.
Yeah,
which is just
Marvin.
What a bizarrely funny and weird, just
Chicken Fucker. When was that? Was that
Chicken
season 2?
Fucker. That was season 2 or 3, and it's like helping Bar Brady learn to read. Oh no! God, again, there's so I'm gonna have to rewatch them all yet again, and I've only just recently watched them. Realistically, they're just all so good. The planetarium episode.
What's that one?
Do you want to come to the planetarium? I have a issue where I can't pronounce my T's, and it's they go on a school trip to the planetarium and it hypnotizes people to come back and want to do the planetarium over and over and over again. And the big part of that is Cartman sneaks out and gets to be on the Cheesy Puffs advert.
Oh, okay. I might have seen it.
I love Cheesy Puffs.
I remember
love
that
Cheesy
bit, yeah.
Puffs. If we... It's just so stupid.
What age would you let Kay watch it?
Oh my God, 15. I know I watched it younger. I'm being super strict about things like that. Has Been Hotel, she's desperate to watch. I let her listen to the clean songs that have absolutely no part of them about sex, drugs, or the abuse that goes on in that show.
I watched episode 4 on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rough episode to be watching in public, episode 4, because that's the porn one.
Oh, yeah.
I was really aware.
Oh, yeah.
I was very aware what I was watching.
But no, 15, I reckon. As harsh as it is, she's quite innocent. I wasn't.
Yeah. I'd already seen Predator.
Precisely, and Demolition Man.
Yeah.
And Twins. And that would have ruined you enough.
I love that. You just...
Anyway, it's been more than 25 years for South Park, for 25 years for Big Longer Uncut. I'm so glad it still exists.
Yeah.
Oh, Chef Aid. That was the final thing I would bring up. Chef Aid, I remember buying that album and I listened to it to death. I even dubbed it onto cassette so I could listen to it on my Walkman because I didn't have a portable CD player at that point. Loved it. Loved every bloody minute of it.
Can you tell your guinea pigs from a balloon? The sound of a fart from a velociraptor. Join the boys as Tom quizzes Rob.
So I've got a quiz for you, Rob. So we use a certain product. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want people stealing. And he's our man. He's no one else's. And on that app, they can now generate sound effects.
Cool.
Now, obviously, we've moved away from kind of doing the AI images and stuff like that because we realise how bad it can be for actual artists out there. And
we only use...
is basically the only AI that the show uses, and that's for generating the voice, and we create the script for that one. And the company that we use to generate that is a real person's voice, I believe, and they've been paid by a man. Oh, there you go. There's the name of it.
Beep it out.
Yeah, I'll beep it out. And yeah, you provide that so that you can do it. So they've actually been paid for it. So I don't feel so bad over that one. And it works for us. But the sound effects, obviously, we've got the world of Foley, and we would never take that away. So this is just a bit of fun. And I assure you, it is not good sound effects. I'm sure it can, and I did make some really good sound effects. But if we were looking to do Foley, to be honest, we do it ourselves.
I have done for the Trek a lot of times.
We did. There you go. And I've done a handful for some of the intersections to the show. But anyway, the quiz. I came up with 5 prompts, stuck it into the generator, and it made me 5 sounds.
Okay.
And the quiz is, I want you to tell me what you hear. Actually, no, I don't even know. We've already given these sounds to Karen so Karen from Lightly Used podcast and Simon from Who Takes the Socks Off podcast.
Both Studio Channel 84
They are
productions.
both Studio Channel 84 productions, yeah. They're both on the network. Go and find them on channel84.co.uk and all their links will be there. And they've sent me what they think they heard and then what the prompt was that I put in to get that sound
So
effect.
I've got to guess what I think it is, and then I've got to guess what you actually might have written in to get that.
100%. Now, would you like to hear the sound once or twice?
Let's see if I can get it on the first, but I think I would like to hear it twice, because I think everyone would want to hear it twice.
That's fine. Hang on a moment. Oh, you kind of got a little clue there. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit. Here it comes. Listen carefully.
Oh, I don't like the end. It's the end.
Right, so now you can hear it, and I won't turn it up because I know that some of these sound effects are louder than the others. And that's, again, another problem with AI sound effects is that the volume is all over the place. So let me play that for you once more. Now you can actually hear it.
I don't like it, CJ. I don't like that at all. That end bit, I don't like. It's like it's haunted.
So
It feels like it wants to be someone pouring water into a glass,
okay,
or it's someone pissing into a toilet.
interesting.
And I don't know what the end is, though. I don't know what the relevance to the end bit is. I think I've just got to ignore the end, because I know when we do the voice generator thing, it can sometimes go fucking weird.
Right, okay, so
I think it's someone pouring water into a glass, and I think you asked it to do a noise of someone pissing into a toilet, because I know you.
fair enough. So, Karen from the Like You Use podcast put, sound 1, man having severe digestive issues, sat on the toilet, feeling the panic and relief of finally being able to open his soggy bowels in the privacy of his toilet at home.
Soggy bowels.
I guess that works for the prompt and what I think I can hear. Now, if I go over to Simon on the Socks, I think you probably asked for the sound of someone slurping a cup of tea or drink. However, it sounds more like a sloppy blowjob abruptly ending as they come.
I really like the adjective that Karen's used. You can tell she's a writer by calling it soggy. Simon, I don't know how many sloppy blowjobs he's had in his life. Not familiar with them sounding particularly like that, but okay.
Well, the prompt I actually entered. Someone having diarrhea in a ceramic toilet. This should be wet, splatting noise hitting water with a slight echo. There is a lot of male grunting and ill-sounding moans.
That's what the thing at the end is. The haunting noise is the... Yeah.
They give you 4 options, and that was the best one out of all of them.
It definitely sounded like water at the beginning. Without a shadow of a doubt, there's water being poured at the beginning.
There is. You ready for sound number 2?
Yeah, go on.
Now, this one's a bit louder, so I'm just going to turn the the iPad has already turned down. Good.
What the fuck? And at one point it sounds like a squeaky door closing. Now that's an animal squeaking and then you're killing it at the end. That's what's happened. That sounds like a gerbil or something, or what those things you've got, guinea pigs, squeaking around, and then you're going and stamping on it or hitting it with like a paddle board. I think to me it sounds like a gerbil running around, upset, and then you're slapping it dead with a paddle board. That's what I think it is. And I think what you asked for is something to do with an animal getting stomped on.
Right, so Karen's answers. The prompt was squeaking balloon that then pops. I can see that.
Oh.
But what she said she thought it sounded like was a guinea pig in distress as it expands and explodes.
Oh, yeah, that could be what that bang is.
And then sound 2 for both answers from Simon on the Socks podcast, a guinea pig being flattened by a dropped book. And that's for prompt and the sound.
That's a really good one. I actually think he might be right.
Okay, are you going to lock in your choice then? Are you happy with your choice?
I'm going to keep mine, but I think Simon might actually be the winner.
So, what sadist me wrote into the app.
Okay.
And I'm so glad that I found an AI app that doesn't constantly tell me, you're a horrible human being,
you
stop
can get
doing
that
this.
site to do whatever you want.
A guinea pig happily squeaking while it runs around on a wooden floor. It then finds a cable and bites it. There's a loud electrical fizzing noise before a loud pop.
Yeah, well, I guess Karen wins, really.
Karen got it bang on.
Yeah. You've got guinea pigs, so that is a bit sadistic.
Our guinea pig is fucking miserable. We had 2 of them. The one that died was the happy one. The one we've been left with is the fucking miserable one. She sits in her fucking box all day long and hates us all. She doesn't bite us. She'll let you hold her, but she's miserable about it. Fucking hate her sometimes.
What's her name?
Bella.
Call her out, Bella.
Well, she was named after the tweenies. We had Fizz and Bella.
Are guinea pigs animals that are meant to be alone or in pairs?
They're meant to be in pairs, but she prefers being alone because she's just a bitch. She was actually happier when her sister died.
I was going to say, did Fizz just like commit Harry Carey just to get away from her bitch sister?
Possibly. Right,
Like my hamster.
Sound 3. There you go. That was
Well,
sound
you've got
3.
another person going, oh. Right, now what does it sound like? Someone's rolling something. Someone's rolling a dead body in a black bag and then it lands on their foot and they go, ow.
Wow, okay.
That's what it sounds like.
Fair enough.
What did you ask for? Oh, fuck it, I have no idea. Can't comprehend what you would have asked for that.
Okay, well, Karen suggests that's walking heavily through overgrown shrubbery with man sounding injured. What it sounds like, an urban explorer trying to get into an abandoned house through massively overgrown trees, etc., and gets a stick in his eye for his troubles.
Oh, she's really good at this.
Whereas Socks thought, I think you asked for an elephant walking through the jungle and bumping into a man. It sounds like a man being whipped with banana leaves, specifically banana leaves. The third stroke really hits home. Can you tell Simon might not have taken this one too seriously?
We're so different. The three of us are so different. Other than the guinea pig one, which we all called.
But none of you've got it right. Okay. At all.
Who's closest?
None of you.
Okay.
A man is walking along carrying 2 shopping bags of groceries. He trips over the curb and falls on his face. The bags go everywhere. He screams in pain from the fall and is very angry that he dropped the shopping.
Well, at least Karen had someone walking.
True.
Had a
okay.
human being walking. I had someone rolling a dead body, and Simon had an elephant walking.
That's very true. So you are all losers at this point. Sound number 4 then. Oh dear. Oh dear.
That is hauntingly terrifying. That is so scary.
Let me play that again. Okay, there you go. You've had it twice.
The first noise sounds like a raptor. Cool.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So I think it's a raptor dressed as a clown making a little girl laugh. That's what the noise sounds like to me.
Okay.
On a squeaky floor.
Well, Karen went for a prompt. Woman hiding, hears sound of velociraptor and cries because she knows she's going to die.
Yeah.
And that's what she also thinks it sounded like. Mm-hmm. So, absolutely, she's drawing with you on that one.
Simon.
Oh, God damn it, Simon. A sea lion making music in an echo chamber. I'll stick with the sea lion, but it actually tickles a 14-year-old girl and makes her giggle until the starts coughing because she smokes 20 Rothmans a day thanks to her mum's lack of attention and the bigger boys telling her it would make her look grown up. Fuck's sake, I needed to have fucking pre-read this, didn't I? Simon. I mean, can you even buy Rothmans anymore? I mean, I was a Winston's man personally, but come on.
A sea lion in an echo chamber.
It's why it's tickling a 14-year-old. I mean, ultimately, AI's let us down because
Just ask Simon, don't ask AI.
what I actually did was a woman farts in the church. After a couple of seconds, she begins crying.
Okay, play again. Now I know that.
Hang on then. Here we go.
So that's a fart.
Yeah. It really struggled with that one. Weirdly, it really struggled to do a fart and crying together. Whereas previously, with the man carrying the shopping and falling over and shouting, it was like, yeah, no, I can do this easily.
Yeah.
But a woman farting and crying, can't do that.
I get asked to do men crying all the time.
Now, this one, I can guarantee, I don't care what Simon's put for this, no one is getting this.
This is the only one he said he knew, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
He didn't.
That sounded like you for a brief moment.
That's it.
Sounds like you're going ooh, ee, ooh,
Ting tang, walla walla
But
bing
it
bang.
sounded like it was you.
Thanks. No,
Okay.
it was definitely AI.
So they've made a crowd. So there's a crowd, and he's going ooh. I think you're in the red light district watching a porn show.
Okay, so Karen's gone with, I have no idea, prompt drunk man in bar trying to remember the lyrics to Witch Doctor.
Oh, we're great.
What it sounds like, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ting,
Yeah.
tang, walla, walla, bing,
How
bang,
funny.
ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang.
On the same,
Bo, bo,
on the same
bo, bo,
page
bo, bo.
again.
And then you've got, oh, God. Oh, actually, for fuck's sake. I'll just scroll up and there it is. There's the extra paragraph that I was not expecting.
You did say paragraph to them.
I
to
think
be
you
fair.
asked for a man saying ooh as in ooh misses, probably spelling it ooh ear by mistake. I think it sounded like Gina's G's cousin, they don't talk much, trying to explain to his drunk friend at a family party for Auntie Brenda's 80th who his cousin was and the song she sang at Eurovision. Oh, Simon.
I think he had a few coffees today.
Well, this is the one that AI really let us down on. Because are you ready for what the prompt was?
Yeah, go on.
A man is stood in the queue at border control and a vibrating dildo is loudly going off in his handheld luggage.
Where's the vibrating noise?
Well, the vibrating noise is... Can you imagine being at border control and your bag suddenly starts doing this? Yeah, look, I'm going to hold my hands up, Governor. It's a giant, big dildo in there that's vibrating.
you'd be more
and
in
I think
trouble.
I've forgotten taking the batteries out.
I think you'd be more in trouble. It sounds like you got a person in there. Do you have the the animated head of a decapitated person in that bag, sir? No.
But there you go. AI is definitely not going to take us over on sound effects at any time soon.
Oh, but I am going to ask Simon for some more descriptions of stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
If there's something strange in the neighborhood, who are you going to call? Probably the police, as ghosts don't exist. Maybe. We don't know.
Where do you stand on... Sorry, I should actually just... Where do you stand?
Do it anywhere I
My
can,
brain
really.
just switched off then. Just full stop switch off. It's like, where do you stand? That'll do. That's a question. Where do you stand on UFOs and ghosts?
Where do I stand on UFOs and ghosts?
Their head, bollocks,
The
arms.
UFOs, I stand on their bridge.
Nice.
And ghosts, I just try to stand next to them. I don't want to invade their ethereal bodies.
Oh, perfect. Well, that's the end of that section then. Look, on a general real kind of side of things, there's being a skeptic, there's being someone who's open but skeptic, there's someone that's closed and, well, I guess you can't be skeptical if you're completely closed off. That's what I'm going to get at. What's your stance on the supernatural, I guess,
so
and space and shit like that?
If we're classing UFOs as aliens and not just unidentified flying objects, because UFOs are real, because it's just an object you don't know what it is.
Absolutely. I throw a frisbee at your head and it knocks you out. You didn't know what it was.
No.
Until I show you the video on you being framed and the money I got from it.
Yeah. Aliens, I can't believe that they don't exist. Do I think they've ever come to this planet? Absolutely fucking not. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think it's a secret that could be kept secret.
Absolutely not. There's just no way. It's like the whole flat earth fucking stupidity.
Yeah, that's just
there is no one in the government that would sign up to keeping that secret. By now, someone would have got it out there. There's just no way. There's just zero chance. And it's the same with UFOs, isn't it? Well, aliens. There is no way the government is holding evidence of an alien and it has not escaped out into general knowledge. It's
just not possible. So aliens, I believe, have definitely have the potential to exist. I just don't think they've ever been here. Ghosts, and if we're talking specifically about ghosts, do I believe ghosts exist? No. Do I want them to exist? I'd love them to exist. I'd love it. I'd love it. The throwback to the Newcastle manager saying that about United. I'd love it if we beat them. But yeah, I'd love it if they were real. I'm absolutely open to it. To them being absolute. And when people talk about ghost stories, I don't dismiss it. I might make a little quip. You know, I made one earlier about one of the Chuckle brothers, you know, saying that bloke's mental thingy, his brother visits him. But, you know, do I begrudge him for having that opinion? No.
You see, that's interesting, isn't it? Because I'm not a religious person. And quite often you may get kind of religion and spirits kind of get intertwined, I guess. Going with the whole kind of alien side of things, I absolutely agree with you. Especially because I am not religious. I don't believe the world was made in 7 days by some invisible weird thing up in the sky who went, I'm a bit bored.
Yeah.
Well, Warhammer doesn't exist yet, so I'll have a go at making a planet on my own. Yeah. Follow the blue. Oh no, Blue Peter doesn't exist either. What am I going to do with all these egg cartons and poster paint and paper mache? I cannot believe that with the billions and billions of galaxies that exist within our universe, that there's not something else. Mm-hmm. It's just so fucking far away. We'll never know about it.
Yeah.
Just full stop. That is it. Mm-hmm. That's what I believe on that one. I would love to see evidence that they do exist, and I will be absolutely on it if that does. When it comes to ghosts, I'm open. I don't believe in ghosts. But if there was suddenly conclusive proof in front of me, or something I genuinely couldn't explain, for example, actually no, you know what? There wasn't an air conditioning vent there. I did see something get thrown across the room that no one else was nearby. There was no invisible wires. It's not a setup. Then I'll believe it. But right now, until I see something that is conclusive and absolutely, yes, there's your evidence, I'm going to remain sceptical.
What I would need is I would have to be... There's two scenarios. Either on my own and the ghost literally appear in front of me, with there being no way that anyone could be taking a piss out of me for me to believe it. Or, alternately, be with you or my wife, two people that wouldn't do it as a joke.
100%.
That I would ever believe it. They're the two criteria that I would need.
What about if we were going on, let's say, a ghost hunt? Would you believe it then?
Now, I have been on a ghost hunt before.
Oh, yes, you have.
Yeah, which I'd love to talk about. I went with Dan and my sister and one of my sister's friends a few years ago. I don't know if we've got long enough to talk about it, but we were the only people that things didn't happen to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we may, or may not, have something coming up that could be linked to why I'm asking you these questions. Mm-hmm. And if said thing were to happen, I'd like to talk about your ghost hunting experience, so maybe watch this space.
It's time for the curtains in Studio Channel 84. Join your hosts one last time as they say goodbye.
And that's the end of the show. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for taking part. Thank you very much for everyone that sends anything to us. In particular, thank you to Karen of the Lightly Used podcast, also featuring our co-host Adam. And also thanks to Simon and his team at Who Takes the Socks Off podcast. Both podcasts part of the Studio Channel 84 network, just like us and Untitled Trek.
Thanks.
Thank you. If you did enjoy the show, you can find all our details over on channel84.co.uk. That includes all our social media pages. So that's Threads, X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you name it, we're probably on it. We're trying to be more social. Stick with us. You can also go to channel84.co.uk/Discord to go through to our official Discord server where you can discuss our new episodes. You can also feed back to us properly on there. You can also discuss things that we've also discussed. For example, there's Doctor Who posts on there at the moment. And then if you really, really wanted to, you can also email us. Podcasts@channel84.co.uk comes to both Rob and me. You can email Rob separately on rob@channel84.co.uk. You can email me on tj@channel84.co.uk. And yeah, that's all your ways to contact us. If you would like to be part of the show, email one of us, say what you want. We'll see what we can do. If you've got an idea for a part of the variety show, we are all about variety, hence the name. Come at us, give us an idea, we'll see what we can do with it. Rob, have you got anything else to say?
No, I'm still on a come down from Simon's comments on that bloody AI thing.
That was absolutely wonderful. I loved it. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and we will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Love you.
That was The Variety Show. Thank you for listening. The next episode will be out in 2 weeks' time. This was a Studio Channel 84 network show. To find more, head over to channel84.co.uk now.